Hello YouTube, this is Brian Jr. 91 coming at you for another Story Mode Wednesday. Today the game that's featured, the game that I'm playing, I actually recorded this game and then did my voiceover on it, is a story mode, is a Fallout New Vegas. I'm doing some of the downloadable content quest. I actually beat this DLC, but I'm going back to do some of the extra quests that I haven't done yet. But you guys know how I do it. For some of you guys that are new to my channel, every Story Mode Wednesday, while I try to play a game of a story mode to a game, and while I'm playing a story mode to a game, I try to tell a story, at least one story, whether it be a funny story, hilarious story, a sad story, just any type of story. And these are actual stories that's happened to me before, and these are real life stories. So I guess what I would say is so you guys get to know me a little bit. But today, no, I'm not just gonna give you guys one story. I'm gonna give you guys two. I have one for my job that happened like a week ago, which everybody got me good, and I have one from high school, which is about 2.5, 3 years ago. But I'm gonna start off with the one at my job. For some of you guys who don't know or are new to my channel, I'm currently in the military. I work in the military. I'm a soldier for the United States Army. I just got promoted to E2. Well, what happens whenever there's a new guy to a unit, and I've been at my unit for like a month and a half now, 2 months. Whenever there's a new guy that just entered into the unit, that's getting used to everything, trying to get used to everybody there and how the unit runs. Everybody likes to mess with the new guy, especially if you're like me and you just came out of basic. You're fresh out of basic, which they call as newbies or cherries. Well, what they did to me is I'm not gonna say what I was learning what to do, because a lot of stuff, I don't know if it's, I'm not gonna say what I was trying to do, because it's gonna sound really stupid that they got me on this because I wasn't thinking clearly. But what happens is so I'm outside, I'm looking at a vehicle, and I see one of my not one of my team leaders, but one of my platoon team leaders. He's in a different squad. He comes up and he starts I don't know what they're called, but there's like for a wrench to tighten like nuts and bolts. Well, he has like a little silver piece to it, that you clip onto the wrench to tighten your bolts or whatever you got. He's coming around and he's tapping on the vehicles, and I'm like, specialist so-and-so, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm checking for soft spots in the armor. And he goes, I was supposed to show you how to check for soft spots in the armor, but I never did it. And he's like, so I'm going to show you. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he's tapping around in the armor, and the first thing that came to thought was, what is he doing? I've never seen anybody do this. So I told him, I was like, specialist, I don't want to be that guy, but from me being here for about, a month and a half, 2 months now, I have yet to recall or seen anybody go around tapping the armor to the vehicles. And he goes, oh, because nobody likes to do anything by procedure, by the books and everything. He's like, here, let me show you. So I was like, are you sure? I was like, I believe this isn't a real thing. I think you're fucking with me. And he goes, no, it's for real, it's for real. So I'm like, all right. So I'm going around, I'm tapping on the vehicles, and a captain walks up, which is a high ranking. He walks up, and he's like, and he has a smile on his face, and he goes, so what are you guys doing? And the specialist I was working with, he approaches the captain, and he goes, oh, we're looking for soft spots in the armor, checking for soft spots. And then the captain looks at my chest, which that should have just gave it away right then and there. But the captain looked at my chest, and at the time I was an E fuzzy, I was an E1, so I had no ranking on me. So he started smiling like he got the joke. He knew that they were fucking with me. Eventually, as more of the story goes on, I guess it wasn't just that specialist I was in on it. There was like 20 people in on it. So he goes, oh, okay, find them all. And I was like, yes, sir. And so we're tapping around for stuff. And I'm like, I don't think this is it. I was like, I'm really skeptical about this. The captain, he was just over there smiling at us. And I was like, I still don't recall anybody doing this. And he goes, are you serious? He's like, the captain just told you to look for it. And he calls over one of the sergeants and he goes, hey, this guy doesn't believe that looking for soft spots in the armor is a true thing. And he goes, well, it is. You do got to look for soft spots in the armor. He's like, first of all, as a specialist, you're teaching this guy wrong. He goes, it goes like this. So instead of tapping really fast, like how the specialist showed me, he does 2 taps slow. And he does it around the vehicle. And he does it at this part of the. It should have registered in my head when he did this, but I wasn't paying attention. But he taps at a part that's really close, 2 pieces of metal that are really close together and that are not wedged together, but screwed together tightly. And then he goes to that same piece and he does it in the middle, which is further away from the tight bolt with the 2 pieces of metal. So there's a sound difference between the two. And he goes, see, there's your soft spot right there. He goes, now you guys go get out a piece of tape, mark it 6 inches, write your name, the date, and write soft spot on it. And I'm like, yes, Sergeant. So we go check the thing, and I kind of look back at the sergeant, and I realize he kind of has a smile on his face. And I'm like, hey, are you guys sure this is a true thing? I'm talking to my team leader again. I'm like, hey, you guys sure this is a true thing? Because everybody's been smiling and stuff at me and looking at me like I'm an idiot. And he goes, no, this is a true thing. He's like, nobody ever does it, so it's just, it's the first time we've seen somebody do it in a long time. Nobody does it. People don't like to do things by the book. So he gets tape out, and I'm going around hitting this one vehicle that I'm supposed to be working on. I'm going around and I'm hitting it, and I'm trying to look for the sound difference, and I'm marking them up. And then again, the sound differences are coming from where the tight bolt is and like 3 inches away from the tight bolt. So I wouldn't say there's a big sound difference, but the tone from one of the sound sounds a little bit like it's one of the tones is like ting ting, and then another was like ting ting. So it's like I don't know how to explain it that well. I don't know what the exact vocabulary I should use for it to describe the sound, but it sounds like that. So I'm going around marking the vehicles, and there's probably like 3 or 4 pieces of tape on it, and I'm writing my name on it and everything, and I'm doing this for like 20 minutes. And like I said, this isn't my team leader from my squad. He's from first squad. Well, I guess while I'm doing this, my team leader is looking for me, and he's like, hey, where's Cortes at? Because he needs me to do something. And like, oh man, specialist so-and-so is fucking with him hardcore out there. There's so many people fucking with him hardcore. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, we got him looking for soft spots in the armor. And so I'm out there just ting, 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 ting. And I'm like, I'm sure this isn't a real thing. And like three sergeants come up and they're trying to explain it like, yeah, this is a real thing. No, don't worry about it. This is a real thing. This is how we check for armor and stuff. That was weird. My thing just dropped. He's like, this is how we just check for armor to make sure the armor is good enough when we go out to combat and stuff. So I'm like, all right. So I'm doing it for like another 2 minutes. And all I see is my team member come out and he goes, Cortes, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, oh. And everybody starts busting out laughing. And my team leader's like, oh, you guys think this is fucking funny? He's like, who told you how to do this? Who told you? And I was like, well, it was Specialist so-and-so and Sergeant so-and-so. And he goes, oh, Sergeant so-and-so. He's not even our platoon. He's like, oh, okay, I got you, Sergeant so-and-so. He's like, you want to play fuck games, huh? He's like, you want to fuck with one of my new soldiers? Like, I got you. So basically, that was the whole joke for like the next 2.5 days was me looking for soft spots in the armor, which, like I said, I should have realized that there's no such thing as soft spots in the armor because it's an armored vehicle. It's meant to take bullets and RPGs and stuff. So, the second story I have is for some of you viewers out there that don't know me. I know there's a couple of subscribers that I have that I've played with.
If you're planning to stay a while, I could see clear to giving you a once over.
Some of my friends they know I'm real big into the Asian culture, especially the Asian women. Oh, I love me some Korean and Japanese women. Well, and Vietnamese women. And I mean, I listen to the music all the time. The K-pop, the J-pop, the K-pop and the J-pop. I try to follow the Korean culture and Japanese culture a little bit too. Don't get me wrong. Don't be like, yo, this nigga listens to K-pop and J-pop. Now I also listen to like Tech 9 and T.I. and Disturbed and all that. So I listened to a
Really?
wide variety
Well,
of music.
That really puts a damper on the toaster's mood.
What happens is in high school, girl, I had this one girl in my third hour, and I was the TA. I was the TA for that third hour, and I was a senior, and she was a, I want to say, sophomore, I believe she was. And her name was Kayla Ponkilla, I think it was. I don't know if that's true that I remember her name, but her name was Kayla Ponkilla. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I had a little crush on her, and but I don't want to come and talk to her or anything like that, because I was the TA third hour, and like I don't want my teacher to think there was something.
I understand you're to be congratulated on the recovery of your missing organs.
Maybe if I get with her, purposely correct some stuff that I have and everything like that. Well, she kind of knew I had a crush on her, and she told me she thought I was cute and stuff like that. But the only reason why she didn't put in the effort to get to know me is because I never put in any effort to get to know her or anything like that. I was usually quiet, and I just did my work. Every time she looked at me, I kind of looked down and just did my work because I was a little embarrassed. Well, there was this one time at lunch, her and her sister and like three or four other friends that they had just walked around the courtyard during lunch. They'd walk around the courtyard and eat. And she would walk by me like 7-8 times during lunch, because my buddies and I, Daddy's Papa Grammar, we would sit on this bench. We would sit on this bench and we sit there and chill. And we would never go to like the actual, like defact, or not defact, I'm thinking military. We would never go to the cafeteria and stuff to buy food, because the lines were always long, and they had like pizza and stuff there and Chick-fil-A, but it was all like greasy and soggy, so we just usually went to the spirit store and bought like Pop-Tarts and Corn Nuts. Well, what happens is I just got done buying a Pop-Tart, and I told my best friend, my best friend during high school, his name was Eric Johnson. I shouldn't say his name was. His name still is Eric Johnson, but his name is Eric Johnson, and he's one of my good friends. And actually, I lost touch with him after I started joining the military. That's probably one thing I should do, is start touching bases with him again. But I told him about it. I told him about this girl. Second semester, the beginning of second semester, because that's when I started doing the TA for this teacher second semester. He goes, I showed him her, because I was like, I didn't really point to her or anything like that, because I didn't want to seem weird, but he knew what she looked like because he walked around. Well, there was this one day towards the end of the semester, I did something to him, and he goes, I'm gonna get you back. I think I slapped him on the bus, and he's like, I got you. And little did I know that he was gonna fuck with me right when this girl was here. So we're at lunch, and I'm eating a Pop-Tart, and her and her sister, are kind of walking by and stuff like that too. And her sister didn't like me. But Kayla kind of thought I was cute. Well, what happens was they're walking around, and my buddy Eric decides to go right in front of this girl and her sister and her friends. Hey, Brian, isn't that the girl you like right there? And I was like, what the fuck? And my first reaction was to grab the Pop-Tart I had and chuck it at this motherfucker. And I tried to chuck it at this nigga's face. Well, what happens is, the story gets worse from there. Because what happens is, I tried to chuck it and hit him in his face with the Pop-Tart. Like, it was an instant reaction. As soon as he said that, I just grabbed the Pop-Tart and whoo. What happens is it ended up hitting him in the shoulder, and I threw a whole Pop-Tart. I ended up hitting him in the shoulder, and a piece of the Pop-Tart ended up like deflecting off his shoulder and breaking off, and ended up hitting her sister in the face, this girl's sister in the face. And I was like, oh shit. And her sister comes up and starts yelling at me and shit, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it, no, I didn't mean to hit you in the face with Pop-Tart and everything like that. And ever since that girl, she kind of still thought I was cute, but she kind of didn't want to talk to me or anything anymore, because she thought I purposely meant to hit her in the face with Pop-Tart, which isn't true. But those are your stories right there, YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that like, the comment button, subscribe, leave a comment, do whatever. like I say always, have a blessed day, be safe, don't do anything stupid, and I'll catch you guys next time I air a video.